John chapter 13 verses 31 to 35. I give you a new commandment, says the Lord, love one another as I have loved you. When Judas had left them, Jesus said, Now is the Son of Man glorified, and God is glorified in him. If God is glorified in him, God will also glorify him in himself, and God will glorify him at once. My children, I will be with you only a little while longer. I give you a new commandment, love one another. As I have loved you, so you also should love one another. This is how all will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. Jesus strengthens the Old Testament writings about love. Leviticus 19:18, You shall not take vengeance or bear any grudge against the sons of your own people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself, I am the Lord. Matthew chapter 22 verses 37 to 39, And he said to him, You shall love the Lord your God with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the greatest and first commandment. And a second is like it, You shall love your neighbor as yourself. Love is more than just a warm fuzzy feeling. You demonstrate your love when it is total self-giving, and you expect nothing in return. A person who gets out of a warm bed at 2 a.m., to feed a baby or comfort a loved one is an example of self-giving. I know a woman who was laid off and is collecting unemployment, but she still tithes to her church. That's giving until it hurts. You can love by devoting your energy to another's welfare rather than your own. The shut-in who you pick up on your way to a meeting would be such a case. Some might say, well, it's on your way, but they would be overlooking the fact that you aren't obligated to do it in the first place. What about the father whose child refuses to speak or communicate in any way with him? By absorbing the hurt, not complaining or fighting back, he is modeling Christian behavior by loving even if it is not returned. These were but a few examples of Christ-like love, a total self-giving to others, placing others above yourself. Dale Carnegie said, You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. Christ-like love to revolutionary as it was when St. Paul wrote 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verses 4 to 7, written between 53 to 55 AD. Love is patient and kind, love is not jealous or boastful, it is not arrogant or rude. Love does not insist on its own way, it is not irritable or resentful, it does not rejoice at wrong but rejoices in the right. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Now reread that passage and substitute the word love, wherever it appears, with your own name and see how you measure up to a Christ-like love. Odd, isn't it, that in 35 AD, St. Paul witnessed the stoning of St. Stephen. His reaction to the stoning was to hold the coats of those throwing the stones. Now 8 years later in 53 AD, he wrote, 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verses 4 to 7, from a prison in Rome. In 11 more years, both he and St. Peter will be convicted of the same crime as St. Stephen and will also be martyred because they defended the faith during the life and reign of Nero. Isn't Paul's conversion amazing? He went from a Christian hater to a Christian lover. Isn't amazing what God can do with our lives, if we, like Paul, allow him to enter our lives, and we follow his direction? Wedding feast in Cana, Mary's last words recorded in the Bible, gives the servers a message for all generations. John chapter 2 verse 5, his mother said to the servers, Do whatever he tells you.